can't I ever just do this on the first take, you know? You know, just first try. Close enough, man! Welcome to the evil side, baby. What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, man. Today, we're gonna be doing some work on a Blazer. Finally! I feel like it's been forever since we've done anything with the Blazer. I've mentioned to you guys that I want the Blazer to turn more into kind of like a daily, something to just drive around on the street in. And, of course, the truck over here is what's going to eventually wind up being the race truck. But, you know, these kind of things are really expensive, so it'll get there when it gets there. So we know what the Blazer is capable of doing. Like, it's not fast by any means, but it is fun enough to go out and have some fun with, but it can be a lot better. It most certainly can be a lot better. And that's what I want to start focusing on, because honestly, I mean, putting this thing on E85, putting a cam in it, and even a turbo, those kind of things aren't going to take away from it, from the ability of it being a street drivable, just daily type thing with air conditioning, you know? So I figured I may as well go ahead and still do all that kind of stuff. First things first is I really want to get this thing on E85. Unfortunately, at the moment, we have rubber AN line on here, just regular old AN line. I ordered all this stuff. This is Evil Energy that I got off of Amazon quite some time ago whenever we first put the thing together. I kind of knew at that time that I was going to eventually want to do E85, so I should have done PTFE to start with, but I didn't, okay? I didn't. I'm going to do it now. Now, I don't know if we're going to get to this stuff today, but I do have 20 feet here of -8 PTFE line, and then this right here is a 10 micron fuel filter. It's this one has all the fittings and stuff on the end, so you can put whatever size fuel, whatever size line you want to. We're going to be using -8, so I'm going to be running a -8 feed and a -8 return. That's what I have on there now. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is a fuel pressure regulator. I'll most certainly have a link in the description down below for all of these items. This is the stuff that we are going to be putting on the Blazer in order to convert it over to E85. If you guys didn't know, PTFE line is actually like a hard plastic line on the inside. Look, I'm no scientist. I don't know exactly what it is, but I do know that if you want to run E85, this is what it is you need.
Polytetrafluoroethylene fuel line is a fuel line constructed with a PTFE liner, often also known as Teflon, that offers exceptional chemical resistance, low friction, and high temperature resistance, making it suitable for various fuels, including those with high ethanol content like E85.
Because E85 will actually tear apart your rubber lines. We found that out the hard way on the EP3 out there. It started tearing the lines up from the inside, and now the lines are just swollen and it just leaks and like sweats gas out of them. I need to replace all that stuff too. Not only will there be a link in the description down below for all this stuff, but there will also be a coupon code, a promotional code for you guys. You can get a discount. So moving back over to the Blazer, my goal for today is to kind of get it torn down. I need to get the fuel tank out of it. I need to get all the old line off. And right now, currently, I don't know what I'm going to do as far as running the fuel lines and as far as fuel rails. Put it in the comments down below. Do you guys know, do they make a billet fuel rail that I'm capable of attaching to the stock truck manifold? I feel like that would be ideal for me right now. We'll talk about that a little more later. Right now, I need to get to work on getting this thing kind of torn apart. We got to get the whole damn gas tank out of this son of a bitch. And as you guys know, I've done that 20 times now. Oh, shit. Look at that. Jack stand, jack stand, jack stands. All my jack stands are taken up. All right, well, quick jack it is. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Oh, brat. All right, let's get up underneath here and see what it is we're dealing with at the moment. I know a lot of you guys watch me put all this stuff in, but to get a little refresher, you know? So at the top of the tank is the stock hanger, and I have the AN conversion pieces on the hanger to actually run AN line, and those lines are up here. So they come off of the tank and then they run down the frame rail here, and this is the feed and the return. I don't know which one is which right now, but whenever we get up here closer we'll know, because the feed line is actually running through the filter, and then this is the return line. But as you can see right here on the frame, this is where there is one of those crimp connects, like conversions to run from the hard line into AN. So these are the stock fuel lines right here. Now, I don't think that the stock fuel lines are going to necessarily limit me as far as power. I mean, we're not pushing a bunch of power out of this thing right now, you know what I mean? But I think it would be better to get rid of them. I don't know, man. Like, throw it in the comments down below. This video is basically gonna be me trying to get a game plan on what it is I'm gonna do with this fuel system. Of course, I'm not on any kind of deadline, so I don't need to rush through this, but I do want to redo it, and I want to do it right, you know what I mean? So I know for a fact that we need PTFE line because my ultimate goal is to put this thing on E85. So should I be ditching these hard lines and then just run PTFE line all the way to the front and all the way back? Like, is there a benefit to that? Or is it kind of pointless to, like, reinvent the wheel? You know what I'm saying? Anyhow, like I said, the return line goes into this hard line. Then this is the feed. And the feed goes into a hard line a little bit further up. From this point on, it's all AN line going back to the tank. From this point forward, stock lines. That little one in the center is actually a vent that's supposed to go up to the charcoal canister that is up there. So from right here, these hard lines go through the frame, and that's kind of the reason I think that I kept it, because it just seemed like it made sense, you know? It goes through the frame, it gets me up there without having my fuel lines potentially getting close to the exhaust. So now let's go to the engine bay and I'll show you where it is they come out. Now coming up here into the engine bay, it's gonna be kind of hard to get you guys down in there, but so right here is where the fuel lines come out. So the hard lines are actually poking out of the frame right there, and then I have more of those crimp connects that crimps onto the hard line, and then it goes into AN line, and that's where the AN line continues, and then it comes up the front of the engine right here and then runs to my fuel rails. Now, I've always kind of hated this setup. Like, I don't like how it's so cluttered right here. But alternatively, I mean, if my fuel lines weren't going through the frame right there, then my fuel lines would have to come up back here closer to the firewall. And all of this is all real crowded as well. My only option would be to either come over here and have fuel lines going up over my brake booster, which that would look terrible, right? Otherwise, I'd have to come up the left-hand side of the brake booster over here. But if I do that, then that's exactly where my header is at, and then my fuel lines are going to be like right next to my exhaust into the header, in which that's definitely bad because that's where it's going to get most of the heat, and it's gonna not only heat my fuel up, but hell, that might be so close that it might actually be dangerous and melt the fuel line, you know, which would be really bad. So realistically, it's best that it's running through here, but I don't know if I should try to pull those hard lines out and run the PTFE line in its place and just have the PTFE line poke out of the frame right there in the same place and then come up. I think my biggest deal is I don't know if I trust those crimp connects so much, you know, like those things like are kind of janky, bro. And like, I remember when I was putting them on, it's like tightening it and I'm sitting there like, really, is that it? That's really all it's holding that on there, and that's not gonna leak, you know? Like, I don't know, I felt weird about it. So that's why in my mind it just makes more sense to run the PTFE line straight, and then it's less likely to leak because it's just a solid line. Of course, if we go through the frame, I'm gonna probably have to cut that hole a little bit bigger and make sure to put a grommet in there to protect the lines from chafing and whatever. But I don't know, put in the comments what it is you guys think. Like I said, man, I'm trying to get some ideas on what to do here. So another issue that I have with the fuel system, well, for starters, what we've already talked about is this is all rubber AN line, and I want to run E85, so I have to switch over to PTFE. But I'm trying to decide if I should just run the PTFE line the same as I have this rubber line and just go ahead and leave those factory hard lines there and basically just replace all the rubber line with PTFE, right? That's the easiest way. The second option would be to remove all the hard lines and figure out how to run a PTFE through the frame and basically route it in the same position it is now, just instead of utilizing the factory hard lines, it would be solid PTFE all the way. So that's option two. Moving on from that, is the actual power that goes back there to the fuel pump. So this thing is still doing this where if I drive around, like if I hop in this thing and drive it for, let's say 30 minutes or so, after you drive for a while, the fuel pump back there just starts getting louder and louder and louder until it's almost making like a loud hum. It doesn't do it as often as it used to, but it still does it. And then you shut it off and then you start it again and it goes away. Now, I don't know if that's power or if we're still having the same damn problem of like sediment inside of that gas tank clogging up the sock inside of there. That actually probably is more than likely what's happening. But with the power, I have an output on the Holley that's coming out of my firewall. And I don't know exactly which wire it is, but it's one of these wires. So I found the power wire on this stock. I don't know if you'd call this a fuse block. Well, on the other side of it is a fuse block. So on this stock wiring output, input, majigger, I found one of these plugs was for the fuel pump. That is where I ran the power wire. So whenever the Holley sends the power out, it is coming through the wire and it's just plugging into this. And then from this on is factory. Now, I don't think that the wiring, for one, is probably large enough for the upgraded fuel pump that we have back there, which is a, forget which one it is. I believe it's a Walbro 255 or something like that. Anyhow, I do believe the wiring needs to be upgraded, for one, and for two, I don't know if this is even going through a relay anywhere, which is bad. Like, it needs to go through a relay, right? I don't know if the relay, because this might have just been the power going to the fuel pump. From factory, this wire might have came out and went to a relay that was inside of the engine bay inside of here. And then it got its signal from the factory ECU. I don't know. So what I'm wanting to do is actually leave this entire stock setup, but where the power is all the way back there at the fuel pump, use that as just a signal for a relay and actually mount a relay back there close to the pump because my battery is back there, and then just run a larger gauge wire directly from the battery to the relay, out of the relay to the pump, and then just use this as the trigger to tell the relay to come on, basically. I need to do that. But anyhow, for the time being, no matter which way it is I go, I need to get that fuel tank out of there. So that's what we're going to do right now, is go ahead and drop the tank. And then I'm going to start getting all these stock, or not stock, all these rubber AN lines off of here. Because no matter what, all that stuff has got to go. And then maybe once we get all that stuff undone, I can get a better look at what it is that it would take to run PTFE line through the frame rail right there. So I think no matter what, I need to obviously keep my damn fuel lines away from that header, you know what I'm saying? And before I get the gas tank out, I'm going to walk around the Blazer and sneak up behind Toby and try to get his ball. Got you, sucker. What? What? What are you going to do with that ball? Are you even going to do anything with that ball? Give me that ball, Toby. Toby, give me that ball, Toby. Toby, come here. Come here, Toby. Come here. Oh, okay. I love you, pupper. All right, Toby, give me that ball. Give me that ball, fucker. Currently, my fuel line's disconnected inside of here, where I can't really get the camera inside of here to show you guys. But there's one disconnected. Alright, both fuel lines are disconnected. The reason why I did this originally was, well, I mean, I still like the concept. So I'm able to disconnect the fuel lines there and then drop the tank without having to try to disconnect the fuel lines while trying to manhandle the gas tank, you know what I mean? So, I feel like we all know at this point. Okay, bring it in, Toby. Bring it in. Bring it in. Come here. Come here. Yeah. I love you. Yes, I know. I'm downloaded. Oh my God. Both of you? No tongue in mouth. No tongue in mouth. What the hell? Alright, I feel like we all know at this point that I am going to get gas all over the place. You know, it's happened every single time. I've tried to take this thing out, and I try to be careful, you know, is what it is I'm doing. And every single time, it ends up in just gasoline all over the damn place, to the point that I'm having to pull the damn hose out and hose it down to get rid of the smell because I'm getting a headache. But as long as we know what's coming, as long as we are expecting it, it can't come as a surprise, right? So, here we go. Give me that fucking ball, Toby. Give me that fucking ball, Toby. Give me that ball. Well, get the hell out of here then. No, go. Danger zone. Danger zone. Okay, I only have the fill hose left. Don't dump all over the place, huh? Are you freaking kidding me? Alright, I'm actually kind of upset that it didn't spill. That was the least careful I've ever been at taking this damn tank out. And this is the one time that it doesn't spill. There we go, we got a little bit of spillage. Motherfucker. You guys are in luck today, for King Henry has blessed us with his presence. Tell the people hi, Henry. Hello to all you peasants. I have brought myself down from the kingdom to see how all the people are doing in the village. Do you want some outside time, Henry? Oh, I guess I take that as a yes. Outside time, go. You're welcome, you asshole. Oh shit. Should have known I was gonna get gas on me. Out with the old rubber lines and making room for our new PTFE. But like I said, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get to actually putting the lines, making the new lines today. I'm really trying to figure out a way to get rid of these, like more than anything, I want to get rid of the stock fuel rails and the stock fuel pressure regulator. We did end up getting a new fuel pressure regulator and stuff, and I want to run this correctly, and I want to get rid of these stock ones because I've seen people have problems where these little caps blow out on the stock fuel rails, and which causes, you know, which can cause big issues, dude. You can completely burn your truck down if that was to happen. And I want to get those the hell out of here before I switch over to E85. Yeah, I see your damn ball. I see it. What are you going to do with that ball? What are you going to do with it? Why don't you let me have it? Give me that damn ball. Do you want this, Toby? Do you want this? Here. Here. I'll trade you. I'll trade you. Look. Here. I'll trade you. Whatever, bro. You see, realistically, these hard lines, they're really not bad, bro. It's a pretty sick setup, having that section just going straight through the frame, you know? Because now I can literally just make the exact same lines that I already have back there and run to the gas tank. And then right here, my lines literally just connect right there and then run up to the fuel rails. So, I mean, I don't know. I really think I should probably just keep the hard lines. What would you guys do? For real, put in a comment. That's the reason why I'm saying that this video is basically just me tearing all this stuff down, because I'm trying to brainstorm and do this correctly. I want to make sure that this time when I do it, it's going to be the final time. Like, you know, I don't want to have to go back and redo anything. I really don't want to put the gas tank back in there. I'd like to put a fuel cell back there, something with a sump. You know, but then I'm going to have to run an external pump rather than the intake pump, which I'm fine with. And yes, I know, I can already see all the comments. If I'm going to drive this thing on the street, that intake pumps don't overheat. But I don't know, man. I've never had an issue with running an external pump. That, and I also want to get rid of these damn stock fuel rails. So, I don't know. We're just tearing shit apart at the moment. officially got all of the rubber line off the truck. Yay, that's an accomplishment. Anyhow, yeah, at this point, there ain't really much else I can do, man. This is kind of, like I said, just a disassembly video. I'm gonna see if I can't find a fuel cell. I might just go ahead and jump on Evil Energy and see what it is they have available and order just one of those like 10 or 15 gallon tanks, and we'll have to like build something in the back to actually mount it. But I really want something with a sump, dude, and something that's going to be a lot easier to put in and out, because this is a pain in the ass having to do this every time, especially with it being an in-tank pump. I'd rather have an external pump with a cell back there that I'm able to get to all the fittings and everything, you know, and I don't have to do this every time. That, and of course, I've said it a dozen times, we're going to be switching over to PTFE so that it'll handle the E85. And then I'm going to see what it is I'm going to do about the fuel setup as far as the intake manifold. I don't know if I want to just completely swap out intake manifolds and go with something else. I've been looking for a Trailblazer SS manifold that's not $400 for whatever reason. Like, but I can't find them like without injectors and everything, because I don't need everything. I just need a bare manifold. That or just put a set of billet fuel rails on this manifold for now, you know, that'd be nice. And then we'd be able to run our external fuel pressure regulator. So I have some adjustability there. We'll have a gauge so that I can actually see the fuel pressure, and get rid of these damn stock fuel rails. Because ever since I seen, and it was a first gen S10 Blazer just like this that I saw somebody wrote about in one of the groups on Facebook, that he was at the track and he had one of these pop off on him, and it just saturated the heat-soaked engine with fuel, and it went up in flames, and his whole damn Blazer just burned down. And ever since I seen that, dude, I've been wanting to get these damn fuel rails off my truck. But anyhow, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Throw it in the comments down below what it is you think about, you know, the pass-through hard lines and all of that. I think the plus side of getting rid of that would be the fuel line is all one piece, and we have less connection points, you know. That's another thing with these fuel rails. So I'm having to use the conversion fittings, because as you guys know, these factory fuel rails used to have the quick connects. So you have to use these little conversion fittings, which they fit on, like, they don't leak. I've never had a problem with them, but they just fit on there so loose, dude. Look, it just slides around. So I have, that is a point that could potentially leak, and then the fitting can potentially leak, and then there's another one here, and then the fitting. So there's 4 points right there that could potentially leak, you know what I'm saying? And then it runs down, and then it connects to the hard lines that could potentially leak. The hard lines run through, and then it connects back to AN line. There's another potential leak, and then from there it goes over to the fuel tank, in which on the gas tank, well, for one, I have this point that also it could potentially leak. The fuel lines attach here, but then it comes up and attaches to the top here, and I have 2 more conversion fittings. So right here alone, there's 4 points that could potentially freaking leak. So you see what I'm getting at? It's just a lot of conversion to AN, to conversion to AN, to conversion to AN, where I feel like I would have more peace of mind just knowing that it is a solid line that connects to a welded on bung on a fuel cell, and that line is solid all the way up, except for where, you know, of course we got to put a fuel pump or a filter, and just have less connecting points, you know, that could potentially leak. That, and of course the accessibility of having a fuel cell, it's going to be a little bit more serviceable, you know. And then an external pump, that a fuel cell, I'll be able to run 2 external pumps or 1 large one, a little bit more adjustability there. I have a fuel pressure regulator, PTFE line, so we can run E85. Yeah, that's my goal. And I don't have half of that. I got the line and the fitting so far, and the pressure regulator, but that's about it. Throw your comments down below, of course, all your recommendations. I appreciate your guys' feedback. Peace, and I'll see you on the next one. Tell him bye, Toby. Toby, tell him bye. Well, the goddamn thing you're worried about is that freaking ball, man. Give me that ball. Toby, give me the ball. Toby, give me the ball. Toby, give me the ball, dude. Give me the ball. Come here. Come here, I just want to pet you. Okay, hi, Puppert. Come here, Toby. Come here, I just want to pet you. Hi. How you doing, buddy? Give me the ball. Give it to me. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. God. Give me the ball. Alright, I'll give you the ball back if you tell him bye. You gotta tell him bye. You gotta tell him bye. Alright, bye, ball. Sucker. Aww. Boom, boom, boom. Guys, told you not to worry about. What up, guys? Welcome back to the garage, man. Today we are picking back up on the Blazer. Woohoo! I really can't do that anymore. Dude, I used to be able to like, woohoo! Oh, there it is. I found it. You gotta, you know, you gotta get it out from, you know?
From chest.
I'm over here like, woohoo! Woohoo! Impressive, huh, babe?
Yeah.
Anyhow, guys, yes, we are picking back up on the Blazer, and that's one of the things that I was waiting for to come in is a 15-gallon fuel cell. Welcome to the evil side, baby! In other words, this came from Evil Energy. I mentioned to you guys I wanted a 15-gallon, and because I was kind of in a rush, I got a little ahead of myself. I found this one on Marketplace. It's a 10-gallon. I went and picked that up, and, you know, I was talking with the guys over at Evil Energy, and I just, dude, I really think it's going to be beneficial to have that extra 5-gallon of fuel capacity, you know what I'm saying? Especially since we're going to be putting this thing on E85, and there's only one E85 station that's even close to my house, you know? And for the locals, yes, I know, there's multiple of them, like 20 miles that way and 40 miles that way and whatever, but there's literally only one right next to my house. So I think having a little bit of a larger fuel capacity might be beneficial for it. But anyhow, we got to see if that big old sumbitch is even going to fit down inside of there with our original plan. Deja vu, baby! Looking at the ass of the Blazer. It's a pretty freaking sexy ass, ain't it? Man, don't look too deep in there, you know? Weird. Freaking weird. Got this fancy little mat. I'm glad I thought of it.
Oh my god.
Fancy little mat to put down here. Yep. I'm glad I thought of that. Oh my god.
What, you still see my face? I said, what, you still see my face?
Yeah, in my mind.
Oh, look at that. You could just slide it up in there.
I know, it was a good idea.
It was.
Glad I thought of it.
I'm glad you did.
Okay, well, for one, I cannot use the stock hangers. I mean, we already knew that, but I can't even use them to mock it up like we did the 10-gallon. So I'm gonna have to move these guys out of the way, and we're just gonna have to hold it up there. See if it visually, see if it fits, you know? Dang there, buddy. Oh yeah. Yep, that's gonna fit.
Yay.
It's definitely going to be a lot lower than what the 10-gallon was going to be, but that's all right. It's still a lot smaller than what the factory tank was, so it's still going to give us a lot more room all the way around it. All right, so I need to find something that get this thing up in there and hold it in the position that I want it to be in, and then start fabricating the straps, because I got to figure out the angle and where we need to bend the straps and like how far down they got to come, all that kind of stuff. So it's gonna make it a lot easier if I can get this thing kind of propped up in there where it's supposed to sit, like I said. So my jack show as hell ain't tall enough. Not tall enough. That's probably okay though. Stay. Pretty damn perfect. All right, I've got this thing pretty well in position where it's gonna sit. That looks like it's pretty damn centered, left to right, front to back, nice and straight. I actually like how the sump hangs down a little bit past my license plate. So you're gonna be able to see that from the back, and you'll be able to see the AN line coming off of it and stuff. It's gonna be freaking race car, baby. Jesus, what am I stepping on? Oh. Anyhow, the factory tank had these hangers, right? These extrusion metal, stamped steel, whatever you call it, hangers that held the factory tank. That worked great. You know, they worked great, no problem. So what I did was I ran down to metal shops and bought some straps of aluminum to basically replicate that. Now, this plan was whenever I had the 10-gallon cell up in there, because the exact same place that the stock hangers bolt up, they bolt up right here where that bolt is hanging down and right there, and they run straight across. Well, those lined up perfectly with the mounting brackets that are on this 10-gallon. It's a little smaller, but now since we got a 15 and it's larger, those mounting brackets do not line up with, which wouldn't be an issue. I could weld aluminum right now. Get off me, fly. So if you look where our mounting tab is at on the fuel cell, and then where the bolt is at for where it bolts up, if I was to run a strap straight across, it's not going to hit that. So I was kind of brainstorming whether I should run the strap straight across and then maybe just put a piece off over here to bolt it, but that would make it kind of flimsy and weak. And then I was kind of thinking maybe I should just make a solid piece that goes from here to here and then connects here and then goes up. But I don't want a solid piece going over here and crowding where I got to connect my AN lines. It would have worked on the back a little better than on the front. Or actually, that's probably backwards. It would have worked on the front a little better than it would have worked on the back. Anyhow, long story short, I'm ditching the strap idea, and what we're going to actually make is a cradle that goes around basically the entire fuel cell, and I think that's just going to work better, and you'll see as we go along. So back to the old drawing board. Get out of here, you ant. God, there's freaking bugs everywhere, man. All right, so we have the fuel cell, and then mounting point, and mounting point to there, bolt there. So I need a measurement from here to here, and then the measurement there. Here to there. All right, so the big box right here is our fuel cell, and the measurement of the fuel cell doesn't matter right now because I can measure that whenever we take it back out. And then the dark little like L shapes here and here, that is our mounting areas where the fuel cell's got to mount, where those bolts are at that I showed you. There's another set in the back. So basically, if you're looking at this, the rear end is like right here. So this is like a side, and those little lines going through there is to represent, that's where it bolts. So I need to get a measurement from the fuel cell to the back side of that bolting point so that I have enough mass to actually bolt to it. So this measurement right here, I need to get this measurement on both sides, and then I need to get a measurement of the bottom of the fuel cell up to the top right here, flush to the section where it's got a bolt. So that's this measurement right here. I got to get those two measurements front and back, and then we can pull the fuel cell out and finish all of our measurements by just measuring the fuel cell. And then another view, like so if we were to look at it from the top, it would be the fuel cell, and then this is the mounting point here and here, and the bolts go in there, bolt goes in there. So on the back it looks like this. It's got little tabs on it, and well, the front, and then the back by the license plate looks like this. So a top view is like that. Then I'm going to need to get the measurement of like how far apart the bolts are, front and back. I'm going to need to get the measurement of from the fuel cell here to here, and here to here. There's a lot of measurements I gotta get. Yeah, I'm gonna get to work on that. Then we can pull that thing out and get to fabricating our fuel cell cradle. There it is. I've got it all traced out. I know this is like, you know, a foreign language to you guys because you have no idea where my head is at. But I got all my lines, all right? So now I need to go through and try to cut this all out. And after cutting it, then we gotta take it over there to the brake and bend some things and stuff. The bending is gonna be a little bit difficult because I just have a standard brake, like a Harbor Freight brake. It's not a finger brake. So like there's little tabs right here, like this little square. I need those to stay straight, but the center I need to bend up, and it's gonna be really challenging using that brake. But we're gonna figure something out because I have to, you know. That's what I do, man. I figure it out. And if I can't figure it out, then the video is just gonna be cut short. I'm gonna have to take it down to one of the old places I used to work and ask my old boss if I could please use his finger brake to bend some shit. And I don't want to do that, so we're gonna figure it out. All right, so you see, this is what I'm talking about right here. I need this whole section right here to bend. This side has to go at a 90 straight up, and then this section where that line is at has to then bend back straight. But I need these tabs right here to stay straight the way they are. I don't want to bend that with this, but using this brake, since it's not a finger brake, I don't really have an option. So if you guys don't know what a finger brake is, these sections up here are removable. No, sorry, these sections down here are removable. So I would actually remove the section right here and remove the section right here so that nothing is pressing on that when I bend this. But yeah, I'm incapable of doing that with this brake. So I don't know, this is gonna involve some brainstorming. Alright, I figured it out. So I ended up having to bend those tabs with it and then heat it and then just hammer them back down straight. And I did a test piece to make sure it wasn't going to crack the damn aluminum. That's what I was worried about. But it came out pretty good, man. I mean, it still needs a lot of cleaning up, but also we need to get underneath there and test fit it. Oh! Holy shit, dude. Can we say first try? Now, I did leave these tabs right here. I left this oversized, and I left this one oversized so that I can kind of, I need to drill the holes and stuff and get it like temporarily mounted and then try to trace like how much it is that I don't need so I can cut the excess off and make these tabs look a little cleaner, you know? But hell yeah, dude, it freaking lines right in the hell up. Right to those ones, right to those ones. Yeah, so now what I need to do is there's a bolting point in the back and a bolting point in the front. So there's 2 bolts and then 2 bolts. So I got to measure from center to center of the holes, you know, for like just to make numbers easy. Let's say from center to center of these holes was 15 inches and this is 20 inches. I need to center 15 inches inside of the 20 and then drill my holes. And then no matter what, whenever I go to bolt this up in here, it's going to be in the center because these holes are in the center. That's what my eagle eye tells me. They look centered with my license plate. Boom, 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 boom. All right, let's get it done. Alright, I got all my holes drilled for mounting the tank to the bracket, for mounting the bracket to the frame, and I went ahead and I trimmed some areas out just to give it a little bit of a cleaner look up here as well. Looks a lot better than just being all square, you know? So now I need to go over it with a sander. I got 120 grit on here, and we're just gonna be cleaning up all the edges and then beveling all these, like making rounded corners instead of sharp corners, just to make it look a lot cleaner, you know? Clean up all this inside of here, get rid of some of all the jagged cuts, and then yeah, make it look a lot more professional. Bam! All right, I'm gonna prop this thing up a little bit because the sump on the fuel tank, on the fuel cell, obviously hangs down below it. Bam! Fuel cell sits right down inside of there. All of our holes are lining up. Dude. Holy shit. We take a really quick moment and realize what it is we just made right here. This bracket makes the Evil Energy 15-gallon fuel cell a direct bolt-in. So this now, with this bracket, directly bolts in to the factory placement on the S10 Blazer. What's up? All right, so currently I do not have any hardware to bolt the fuel cell to this bracket we just made. I mean, I have hardware, but it's a little too small. I could make it work, but I want to get the right size hardware. I need like 3/8 of an inch bolts, and then I want to get the nylon locking nuts. You know, I'm not ready to install this for the final time anyhow. We're gonna go ahead and throw it in, test fit it. It's just the fuel cell will not have the bolts going through the fuel cell into the bracket like it should. So anyhow, let's go ahead and get this thing slapped up in there and see what it looks like. Get up there, Toby. Come on through, buddy. Here. Get your squeaker and hit the road, Jack. Jesus, Toby. Jesus, man. Oh, Jesus. All the bolts just slid right in, dude. Oh, my God. Toby! Quiet on set, man. Holy shit. Direct bolt-in, baby. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you there, bud, for the ambient noise. He also seems to have taken over my pad here. My nice little pad that it was 100% my idea to use, so I wasn't laying on the concrete. It definitely wasn't baby's idea. Toby, yeah, I'm talking to you, man. You're being kind of a, you know, a prima donna right now. You know, you're being kind of a little bit of a douchebag. Give me that ball, you son of a. What the hell? I didn't even throw it, bud. Right here. Joey! I'm trying to work here, man! Get your butthole out of here! Freaking brat! Toby! I really do need to work here, buddy. Give me the... Bro. That damn dog, man. Alright. Here it is. Good Lord. Anyhow, it came out really clean, dude. It's, I mean, honestly, it is in there without... Come on, dude. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. This is becoming bullshit. Yeah, I'm excited to actually get it bolt. Toby, come here. Give me the ball. Give me the fucking ball, Toby. Drop the ball, Toby! Toby, come here. Come on, inside. Let's go inside. Come on, I got work to do. You gotta go inside. Go play. I don't have it no more. I put it away. I don't have it. I don't have it. Go away. I don't have it. God dang it, bro. Dude, I literally can't do anything right now. Dude, I put it away, you freaking drug addict. I put it away. I don't have, it's just my hand. That's it. Why don't you believe me? What are you looking up there for? What the hell? Dude, this dog. Anyhow, like I was saying, I am excited to see how this thing feels whenever we get the bolts all inside of there. I'm probably, whenever I finalize this, I'm probably also going to put, I don't know if I'm, God. I was thinking about putting some like double stick tape or something in between the aluminum and the fuel cell, just to like, hopefully it doesn't, like some of that rubberized stuff. Dude, Toby, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. You're starting to piss me off now. Just so it doesn't have a rattle like in between it. You know, hell, I could even just squirt a bunch of silicone or some RTV in there and just glue them to one another. But anyhow, definitely came out really clean. It's in a perfect position. I'm going to need to mount my fuel pump. I don't know if I'm going to mount it on this side. Actually, it's got to go to the frame because my new fuel pump is pretty damn heavy. Like, it's a heavy mother trucker. So actually, look right here. This side is closed in, where this side is open. So maybe I'll try to drill some holes and do some rib nuts right here. I can mount the fuel pump right there. But I don't know. We definitely have a lot more figuring out to do with this fuel system. But anyhow, that is a big step forward right there. But yeah, huge shout out to Evil Energy for setting out the fuel cell, man. I most certainly appreciate it. Make sure to check out the links in the description down below. They are giving the DB fam a discount, dude, if you guys need anything from Evil Energy. And I know probably every single one of y'all needs something from Evil Energy. Come on now. I hope you enjoyed today's video. We're going to be working on the Blazer again tomorrow, so make sure to keep an eye out for that. And if you are enjoying my videos and if you are not subscribed, make sure to hit the subscribe button. It helps me tremendously when you guys hit the like button, when you guys actually subscribe, so I can see that, you know, you guys actually like my content. And it actually shows YouTube that you like my content too, so they recommend it to more people and so on and so on. What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, man. So last night got the Blazer torn apart. Well, got the intake manifold pulled off of it because I'm wanting to address these fuel rails. So I mentioned in a previous video that I saw this horrible thing on Facebook where a guy had a Blazer similar to mine. He was at the racetrack and one of these had popped off of his factory fuel rails and just drenched his entire heat-soaked engine with fuel. It went up in flames and the whole thing was basically a loss. Ever since I seen that, man, this has kind of made me paranoid with these damn things. And so the thing is I have these fuel rails on the Blazer. I have these fuel rails on the Cat Eye, on the Suburban. Everything that I have that has an LS in it has these fuel rails. But my theory is potentially the same as these ones, could have sat in the sun for a long time and maybe got weak. You know how these manifolds, they kind of turn white and they just go to shit whenever they sit in the sun. Well, the fuel rails are the same way. If these were the fuel rails that came on my engine, I wouldn't be so worried about it because I pulled it out of a running Tahoe and then put it straight into my Blazer. But these are actually the fuel rails that came off of Braven's engine, in which his engine did just sit on a stand for a while in the sun, you know. So I don't know, I've been wanting to get these off of the Blazer, and today is that day, thanks to the evil side, baby. So we got a set of Billet fuel rails in here. There is an issue though, is that these don't necessarily fit truck manifolds, and that's a pretty common issue because it's really hard to find a set of manifolds, or sorry, a set of fuel rails that fit a truck manifold. I've been looking on all kinds of different websites trying to find some, and if you do, they are like $800. And I didn't want to spend $800. If I was going to spend $800, I would just order a whole freaking intake manifold. Anyhow, these are what I picked up from Evil Energy. These will actually directly bolt on to an LS1 intake manifold, or the actual LS series intake manifolds. You know, it doesn't fit on, directly bolt on to the truck manifold. But, and I was aware of that whenever I ordered these. And the guys over at Evil Energy are well aware that I am going to attempt to make these work. Ooh! Ah! So the dimensions, the holes for the actual fuel injectors themselves, like everything lines up, dude. Like it fits on there as if it goes to it. But the only issue is you can't bolt it up. So if you look, this is where our fuel rails need a bolt. And that is the hole for the mounting bracket, which lines up with this one. Kinda. Like they're in line with one another, but this back one does not. And then of course it's the exact opposite on the other side of the manifold. So the rear one is pretty close to lining up, but the front one does not. So the thing is the brackets that they supply. Now remember, this is built to fit an LS1 manifold, and I knew these were not going to fit from the start, you know. And I was searching YouTube and I couldn't find anybody who like makes them fit, except for one guy, and he was like drilling holes and stuff inside of the fuel rail, which you can do. But I'm just going to try to basically make a new bracket that is going to utilize our truck manifold bolting point and then just extends over to the bolting point on the fuel rails that they already have here. But these are the brackets that we're supposed to be using, and it's not supposed to be on this side. Obviously it goes on this side in here. So as you can see, that bracket would not work. So we are going to need to basically custom make brackets to make this bolt onto the truck manifold. And once again, just like that hanger that we made for the fuel cell, that made that 15-gallon fuel cell a direct bolt-in to the factory placement. We have to make direct bolt-in brackets for the fuel rails now. So once we make these brackets, that's basically going to make these a direct bolt-in to the truck manifold. I should mass produce them. Now, I'm not 100% sure that this is going to work. No, I'm not talking about the tape. Tape is a template we're going to make a bracket out of. I can just see some people thinking to themselves, like, this boy is taping his freaking fuel rails on right now. Anyhow, I have the tape applied there, and then I took a Sharpie and actually marked our bolting point. So now I'm going to peel the tape off, apply it to some aluminum, and then just go from there, see what kind of bracket we can fab up. Of course, I want it to look good at the same time and hold my fuel rails on there where they don't come off. Toby, you are such a grade A good boy. I freaking love you, dude. Toby, I love you. Oh, I love you, buddy. You gotta stop getting this gray face, man. You know that? You gotta stop getting the gray face. We'll have to take you in to get you all dyed back to your natural color, huh? Crazy boy. All right, so I have one side bolted onto the fuel rail itself. I'm gonna go ahead and mark the back right where the fuel rail sits. That's where we need to bend this thing. And it's not gonna be like a straight 90. It's gotta be bent a little less than a 90. So I'm gonna have to bend it a little bit and check it, bend it, check it, back and forth. All right, so I have the holes drilled already that actually goes into the fuel rail itself, but I did not drill the holes that attach to the manifold because I was worried that things can get a little out of whack with the tape and all that. So I want to mark the holes now so I know that I have them in the exact spot they need to be. So what I'm gonna do is take a couple pieces, little pieces of tape and just roll it up into a ball that will fit inside of here. Maybe. It's gotta be smaller. Shit. You know what? I have a different idea. I'll be back. All right, I'm gonna cut a Q-tip in half and then put the Q-tip down inside of there. Dude, that freaking fits perfect. Hell yeah. Perfection. Then I'm gonna take a paint marker and we're gonna put a dab of paint on the tip of the Q-tip. Just like that. Then I'm gonna set our bracket on here. Carefully, and marked. And not marked. Damn it. Let me get my paint marker a little wetter. Alright, both sides marked. Hell yeah. Well, there it is, guys. That just goes to show sometimes whenever you can't find something that'll work, you gotta make it work, you know? So, once again, with those brackets right there, we have now made LS1 style billet fuel rails a direct bolt-on affair to a truck manifold. What's up? So I don't know if I'm gonna paint them. Actually, I'm probably gonna end up painting them because if I was able to get away with not having putting the sanding scratches in it, and if it was just clean bare aluminum, I probably would have left it. But either way, I think they're gonna look better just being black, or who knows, maybe color of the wheels. I literally don't have any of that color inside of the engine bay. That's pretty much it for today, man. I'm not gonna put all this back together because I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna continue just disassembling some things in here to put some more stuff on. Put it in the comments down below if you think I should do that, because I know the majority of you guys know exactly what it is I'm talking about. I mean, if I've already got some stuff taken apart, I may as well take some more stuff apart, right? Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please do smash the like button, and remember, I have a link in the description down below to the website that you can get anything that you need from Evil Energy, and they are also giving the DB fam a discount. The promotional code is in the description as well. Peace out, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.